So for this presentation, I decided to watch a Joel Osteen sermon in church service via YouTube live stream. Due to health concerns of the coronavirus, I just did not feel safe going to a service in person, so I decided just to watch that on YouTube. Um, so I'll get into a brief explanation of the service and why I chose to do this, why I chose Joel specifically. I normally listen to Joel's podcasts on a daily basis, and he's made a great impact in my life. I really like Joel because he's my favorite pastor to listen to because of his easygoing demeanor, and his sermons are very powerful. Yet he goes about them in a very simplistic approach, and is able to reach others through that approach and talk about God and the importance of Jesus. Then we'll get into the description of the service. I felt like Joel and his wife from their church and services, kind of a more modern approach. They're very engaging, in my opinion. That's what I kind of observed through the live streams. In the beginning, they opened up with just their beginning opening prayer and eulogies, and then they followed up with it seemed like multiple singing performances by it seemed like local Christian artist groups, or sometimes I hear they bring famous groups and they do performances like that. They perform that through the middle of the service. And then to conclude, at the end, Joel took over and he gives his main sermon of what he wants to say and the message he's trying to really convey that day. And then at the end, you're after the service, we're speaking a blessing over the crowd. Next, my reflection on the service is what captured my attention is just the way Joel is able to convey and relay the word of the Bible, but not in a litigious and law-abiding way, but in sort of like a life lessons way, so to speak. I feel like this is good because someone can draw the lessons you need out of the scripture and be able to apply it in your own life. That's how it's really impacted me. It's almost like, in my opinion, Joel's services are more like it's like a sermon slash like life coach motivational speech all in one. You know, he's not just speaking at you, he's speaking to you, and it really makes you think. Because he really centers his topics around the importance of self-belief, being highly favored, speaking words of healing and positivity through one's life, knowing that you're a child of the Most High God. He challenges you and those listening to be bold in their faith and to walk by and live by what you hear in your spirit, not by what you see in your eyes. And to me, that really changed my life. I'm not going to lie. Next, we'll go on to significant theological connections. One theological connection I put between the service and assignments and reading discussions that we've learned in this course so far is the discussion of faith. Joel really emphasizes the importance and belief in faith of God, and even when you can't see what is happening or have any physical slash visual affirmations in your daily life, that would make one to believe. He then is able to use examples from the scripture to convey his points, not only in his own words, but through the words of the gospel. In conclusion, I thoroughly enjoy listening and watching Joel's services and sermons. He's a wonderful pastor and an even more wonderful human being. And his words have really helped me get through some tough times to keep my faith when I was in doubt. It was able to be able to break down a few of his services and connect to what we have learned in this class up to date.